Warning. This episode contains strong language, graphic depictions of violence and death that may be disturbing for some listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey you, true crime freaks and geeks. This is Shelly.
My name's Brandon.
This is Gene.
And you're listening to A Beer.
A crime
And a tale. How about we do that more?
Yeah. Gene shook the beer up before he handed it to me, so that's not my fault.
I believe that's a lie.
Well,
Anyways. Yeah. If you guys aren't a part of our Patreon, please check us out. If you want to support us. We have amazing episodes that go up there. And once again, we are having our guest star, Gene, one of the OGs that started this with us,
yes.
here today. Thank you for being on.
And I just want to say our last Patreon episode, if you love Brandon, you'll love that episode because I named it Places I Want to Visit That Brandon Will Be Too Afraid to Go To and Will Cry in a Corner.
Yeah.
That was the entire title. Big title.
Yeah, I knew what was going on. I knew it. When you said that, I was like, oh, I know exactly what she's going to do.
I did. And
she
I was
did.
happy.
But, man.
He was terrified.
And if you actually are supporting us on Patreon, thank you. We are probably going to be doing a poll to see where we record at. So, kind of a sneak peek into those episodes.
And if you join our Patreon, I am going to start sending a sticker to the people that sign up. Yeah. And I ordered some pins that Brandon said nobody wants, but I guarantee you Patreon people do. So,
but yeah, so
I will send you a card with a sticker and a pin.
If you are part of our Patreon, just like this last episode, we have 3 separate areas where we are going to decide on where to go. We're going to do a poll. You guys are going to decide where we go to these haunted places. And whatever you guys decide on, we'll be there, record, let you know.
All right.
So, thank you. And let's get started in this episode.
I would be good with that.
You guys don't know what it is. There is a drinking word of the day. I'm not going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you in a short little bit. People that are watching this, if you're listening to this, stop what you're doing. Go to YouTube, watch this, because this is a very visual episode. So please go check out our YouTube, watch it there.
If they're on our regular Patreon, are they going to be able to?
Yeah. The link will be posted to our YouTube through the Patreon.
Yeah, but I mean, if they're a regular listener to our regular podcast, because they don't like YouTube,
they should check out our YouTube because this might get a little weird for them. But anyways, let's get started, Shelly. You'll understand here shortly.
I'm sure I'll understand. But
so anyways, do you guys remember back in like 2012 when everybody went crazy and panicked, thinking that the so-called end of the world was going to be on December 21st?
Vaguely, yes.
It was a big thing. And, well, it clearly didn't happen.
Yeah, because it would be kind of bizarre since there's time zones. Go on.
And we're still sitting here. But
yes.
What if it actually did happen?
Okay.
So there was a popular Twitter thread that claimed that the world actually ended in 2012.
Okay.
They talked a lot about CERN, C-E-R-N, which is a European organization for nuclear research that's responsible for studying the structure of particles that make up everything around us. So in this Twitter thread, they claim that CERN created a black hole, and then the black hole inhaled the world, and then the scientists placed us all in a simulation because they fucked everything up.
They matrixed us.
Yeah, and that sounds crazy, right?
No, because they made a movie that has Keanu.
I love these types of conspiracy theories because they're like so far out of reach, but at the same time they're not. You know what I mean?
Okay, we'll go with this. Okay.
So, all right. So we're living our lives. Scientists created a black hole.
Okay.
We got sucked in.
Got it.
And now they create a simulation for us to live in.
All right.
You with me so far?
I 100% am.
Yes.
Can I ask them to give me a little more money?
No.
All right, fine.
You figure out what?
So if the black hole sucked us all in, everybody,
Yes.
how did they make a simulation after it sucked us all in and killed us?
That's a
Because
valid
this-
point.
It didn't
Question.
kill us. It just threw us out into a parallel universe. And
Okay. I believe in parallel universes, so that makes sense.
So the scientists created the simulation.
So what, were there like a couple people left that were like, I'm still stuck here, so I got to create a
Yeah,
simulation?
because they'd have to have the awareness to know that had happened.
And then they
I should have
die?
read the thread. I should have
Oh.
read the thread.
I mean,
But no, that's what questions I would have. But it kind of gets into a different conspiracy theory.
okay.
So supposedly the black hole and us living in a simulation started the Mandela Effect.
Okay.
And then the thread started talking about time travelers and disrupting our world. And yeah, so there was like 10 different conspiracy theories into one, right? Now, we're going to talk about the LHC. The LHC
Stands for
is like a,
Little Hat Company.
yes, Little Hat Company. The LHC is a particle accelerator.
All
We're
right,
going to
fine.
get nerdy here. It's a particle accelerator that can achieve energy that no other particle accelerator has reached before.
So the Large Hadron Collider.
Yes.
Okay.
Got it.
That's exactly what
That's
it is.
okay. I thought it was going to be a pickup line at a bar.
You know, I was siding with that too.
But basically, the scientists shoot two particles at each other going insane amounts of speed, like million miles an hour.
Just below the speed of light.
Yeah, just 99.9% like below the speed of
It's
light.
almost time travel time.
Yeah, so they collide into each other
Interesting.
and cause an effect. They also accelerate particles 16.5 miles around the main ring, resulting in 11,245 trips around the ring per second.
Okay. Seems kind of slow.
That yeah, and they keep reassuring that to the public that there's no harm that comes from this, but it does produce cosmic rays when colliding that they research under controlled laboratories. Now the thing with this is that they're natural phenomenal. They're a natural phenomena that are produced in outer space, sometimes exceeding the energies from those produced by the LHC. They claim that over the past billions of years, nature has already generated on Earth as many collisions as 1 million LHC experiments. And the Earth is fine, right?
Right. Okay.
Scientists claim that the universe as a whole conducts more than 10 million LHC-like experiments per second, and everything is still fine. Now, either they're trying to tell us the truth, or they're bullshitting us to make us believe that these experiments are safe to do, which I don't put outside of government means. Like, I don't trust anybody, not even you, Shelley.
Oh, that's fine.
You
Doesn't
trust
bother me.
yourself?
I was going to say, like,
No. So, all right, now let's talk about some black holes. All right, so
black holes.
black
Won't
holes.
you come?
Sorry. Copyright.
Yeah, black holes are formed when certain stars, which are much larger than our sun,
Mhm.
collapse on themselves on their death date.
Yes.
These holes create a very large amount of matter in a very small space. Yeah.
Yeah. They vacuum.
According to the properties of gravity described by Einstein's relativity, it is possible for microscopic black holes to be produced. at
Unless
the
you're my brother and don't
LHC,
believe in that kind of stuff.
I guess.
He doesn't. He doesn't think gravity exists. He says it's a theory.
Tell him float away.
Problem solved. Float away.
Float away.
Float away. Can you? Sucks. But according to these properties, it's possible that microscopic black holes can be produced by the LHC, but these black holes would have enough energy as a flying mosquito.
Yeah, because theoretically, if you look at it in a physics aspect and the way that things have been explained before, black holes that are developed that big
Yeah.
will enclose on themselves before they have a chance to absorb any energy or do any type
Okay.
of thing to start growing themselves.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
all theoretically.
Yeah, because
So, the continued existence of the Earth, Moon, and Sun rules out the possibility of the LHC producing a dangerous black hole, unless it's a simulation. Unless they threw us in the simulation, created the Sun, Earth, Moon, everything.
I don't.
So
I'm not. I don't agree with that. But go on.
You don't?
Well, no. What
Why?
are they simulating the heat and the rain and all of it?
Do you
I
know
mean-
they already do that
I mean,
in
you
some
can- I get that,
countries?
but
You can
you're
simulate
talking
it in a
about-
lot of
clouds.
things.
You're
and rain.
talking about 8 billion people.
Well, no. Hear me out. All right, so theoretically in things like this, if you're simulating something,
Yeah.
you only need, technically, if you're in a simulation,
Right.
and
You.
you're by yourself,
You.
we don't exist. None of
Right.
the people that you've ever met existed.
Correct.
The people and the information that you've been provided, 8 million people on the earth, has not
Yeah.
been realistic. You
I
could have
could
just
punch
been
you in the
taught these
face
things.
right now and not feel bad because I know you don't exist.
Oh, good Lord.
That's-
No. So
just
you're
gotta-
trying to say your simulation in the simulation world of the Matrix, it's literally the same thing where they have all these little fucking little pod people
You gotta.
and there's only like, I don't know, like 300 of them. And so you two don't really exist. My kids don't really exist.
Right.
And
In
I'm
this
in my little
conspiracy-
fucker and pod
In this conspiracy theory, yes.
with my little mist from my rain.
In this conspiracy, yes.
I'm not buying it, but go on.
I don't believe you exist.
Oh, that's fine.
I
You
take
don't
one look
believe
at you and
yourself
I'm like,
exists, all right?
You don't exist.
I'm okay with that.
All right, now let's talk about the main reason why we're all gathered here today.
Okay, I'm ready.
It's a conspiracy called the Mandela Effect.
Right.
Our drinking word of the day is Mandela. If you hear that word, take a drink. If you don't have a drink in your hand, fuck you. Open one up.
I have a water.
Unless you're driving.
I'm
Unless you're
gonna
driving.
save. So these
I
Mandela
didn't think the
effects.
Mandela
I
effect
didn't
was this part
believe
of
a
it.
lot of things about it. I didn't think it was a thing, but I will share one at the end of this for both of you that I just found that kind
They
of
pop
actually
up all the
shocked
time.
me.
Yeah.
They pop up all the time.
So
All the time.
well, it's one that I actually know was a thing beforehand. Like it's not one of those things that I'm pretty sure I remember that. No, I know this was a
Me
thing
too.
beforehand.
There's plenty.
So
So
See, I've heard this theory too, but it wasn't the same thing about living in fucking pods.
I don't think it's the theory of like
parallel universes.
no the parallel universes is a thing,
That part I believe in.
but the CERN situation is not what I believe caused the parallel universe conversions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I get that. All right. So the Mandela effect is when a large mass of people believes that an event occurred when it did not.
Correct.
The term was originated in 2009 by Fiona Brume after she, along with a number of people, believe Nelson Mandela died in 1980s, who actually died in 2013. Fiona was talking at a conference and recalled the tragedy of the former South African president Nelson Mandela's death in a South African prison in 1980. But he did not die in 1980 or in a prison. He passed away in 2013, but many people can recall the news coverage of his death and a speech by his window.
See, I didn't research enough history to know about that situation or know the two situations. I did not know anything about that, so I couldn't say one way or the other.
Yeah, so that is what started the Mandela effect. Well,
So
obviously that's why they
I-
called it Mandela.
I grew up in the 80s.
Dude, that's like 20 drinks right there.
Yeah, I grew up in the 80s and I don't remember that either way. Like I don't remember him surviving or dying because I was a kid, so I don't care. I didn't care. So like I'm like you. It didn't affect me one way or the other.
Yeah, so there is a lot of Mandela effects out there. I mean, some ranging from logos to movies to events. I mean, there was a movie in I think 1990 or something.
Yes.
It's called Shazam.
Yelp.
Never existed. A lot of people know it existed,
I
but it never existed.
Clearly remember that movie.
It
So,
never existed.
Brandon, this might come to a shocker for you, but I've never seen that movie, so I didn't know.
What? So it's supposed to be the main actor was Sinbad,
Yep.
Yes.
and he played as a
Genie.
He was a
genie.
Yeah.
But that did not happen. That was never a movie. A lot of people out there claimed they have seen the movie.
I remember the trailers. So that's my problem. I remember
Never
it
happened.
very clearly.
But keep in mind, there was, and this may be the reason why you got it confused, is because there is a movie called Kazam.
I don't know what
That's-
I don't know that movie.
It's starred by Shaquille O'Neal, and he was a genie.
Right, but I never heard of that until this bullshit started
I'm
happening.
telling you.
I know
that-
what you're
I've never
telling
heard
me.
of either
That's
one of those things until this started.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never.
Yeah. See, I knew Shazam. What is the other one? Kabam?
Kazam.
Kazam. Yeah, don't know what the fuck that is.
Shaquille O'Neal as a genie. Just imagine that. Shaquille O'Neal as a genie.
He too big to be a genie.
I know. He ain't gonna fit in no fucking bottle.
Ain't no way.
I feel like he's also too happy to be a genie.
No. Genies are happy. I mean, and Aladdin, was the genie not happy?
Yeah, but I feel like if you're stuck, he's a big dude. Stick him in a lamp for a long time, he's not going to be happy. He's going to come out all crabby because he's all cramped in there.
You might
That's
have
true.
a point.
Yeah. I just think he was too happy.
But any of you guys seen Star Wars?
Yes.
Yes.
I actually love this story. Go on.
I think we've
So
discussed
this,
Yeah.
maybe. For those of you out there that don't know, one Mandela Effect involves Star Wars. Actually, a few have involved Star Wars.
If you've not seen Star Wars, you might want to skip over this part because Brandon's going to ruin everyone's lives.
100%.
So
120%.
Or pause it and watch Star Wars and then come back to this because they're very good movies.
10 hours later.
For one movie.
So it's when Luke and Darth Vader
are fighting.
are
on the
fighting
bridge.
each other, and Empire Strikes Back. Darth Vader cuts off Luke's hand. Darth Vader says, hold on, I gotta get in the character. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. Luke replied, he told me you killed him. And the famous quote from Darth Vader is, Luke,
No.
Luke, I am your father.
I am your father.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, this is incorrect.
See, I remember it different.
What do you remember it as?
He says, no, I am your father.
And see, there's like 63% of Star Wars fans recall it being Luke, I am your father.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that quote is incorrect. And yes, Gene, your quote is right. So he says, no, I am your father. And this is an example of the Mandela Effect.
So I actually watched an interview with James Earl Jones, who is Darth Vader.
Didn't he say he said
He
that?
100% remembers saying, Luke, I am your father.
Yeah.
That's what's fucking
Yeah.
nuts.
He 100% remembers saying that. He even
I
said it
remember
in the
him-
interview.
There are some Mandela effects that have been disproved by being around the same time. For example, like songs. So like in this theory of him saying, no, I am your father, in any part around that, could he have said anything that sounded similar to Luke, I am your father?
Got it.
That's also a questionable type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you guys have any like you were talking about earlier, Gene, that you had one that came to mind?
I have one that came to mind, too.
Oh yeah, it definitely. So, you know the famous Christmas song, "I'll Be Home for Christmas" by Frank
I'll
Sinatra.
be home for Christmas.
Okay, what's
Yes.
the second line?
I'll be home for Christmas.
You can count on me.
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra did not sing that. It is "You Can Plan on Me." That is not a thing. I never heard it sung that way.
That sounds weird.
That sounds very strange, yeah.
I have not heard it sung that
Wow.
way. But
That
that is
sounds
what
very
Frank
weird.
Sinatra sang.
Oh.
I just learned of this on the TikTok.
Well, is it possible? Is it possible, like when somebody remade it, they changed the word because they just didn't like the sound of "You Can Plan on Me"?
There is a lot of media out there, like certain movies. If they cross the line, they can go back and delete footage
Very true.
and redo it, and it would be the same for everything. But these conspiracy theories, they claim they have never touched it. They've never
Got
done
it.
anything to
Well,
it.
out of all of, so I went and looked up a different artists that had sung this song as like a tribute to Frank Sinatra or as a cover. And while I was looking through, all of their lines said, "You can plan on me."
Really?
And I found one that was a lady, I cannot remember her name, and I feel terrible about that, but she sang it, and one of her lines did say, "You can count on me."
That's when I
But
think of the song, it's a female. So
I've always heard it as a male.
got it.
I've never heard a female sing that song
Okay.
that I can think of.
Interesting.
What do you got, Shelly?
Mine's super bizarre that I've gotten into full-on arguments with Logan about because so my youngest son's a huge geography buff. And he and I've gotten into a huge fight over New Zealand. So
Okay.
when I was growing up, I very clearly remember New Zealand being above Australia.
This is a popular
like
one.
I very
It's a
very
popular
clearly remember it. 100%. It was hot. It was near the equator. Blah blah blah. Apparently, and I found this out literally like maybe a year or two ago. It is south of Australia, or like something like that.
Yeah.
And it literally freaked me out. Like I couldn't get over
Shit
it.
shifts, I guess.
Not like that.
Shifts, like it literally moved
I
all the way
guess.
down the side of the coast. Like their coast is New Zealand. Bye. Like,
So I would have to side with Logan on that because I never learned
Right.
about New Zealand being there up north.
Okay. So I do have one for you, Mr. Know-It-All.
I don't know anything
Oh,
more
I know.
than you.
So, do you remember the song "We Are Champions" by
Yes.
Queen?
yes.
This is one of the
This
ones
is
that I know
fucked.
have been debunked.
Really?
Really?
Yes, because one of the lines after. So at the beginning, it's supposed to say
In the middle, it does say that.
Yes.
At the end, it does not. That's
Yeah.
the part that's messed up. Is I
Okay.
always remembered it at the end. So it's like, "We are the champions. No time for losers, because we are the champions." Dun dun.
Of the world.
Yes. At the very, very end. So in the middle, it does play that.
Got it.
Problem
Okay.
is at the end. The end of the song, it just stops right there. It doesn't say "of the world,"
so.
and it just drops off, and it's very awkward.
Well, isn't it because if I remember that album correctly, because it's one of Logan's favorites, it's because it leads directly into another song. Does
Yes.
it? Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes song
It
1
leads-
to song 2, and it's the
We will rock you. Yeah. So it's just the way they set up their
Okay.
album. So it literally leads directly into that song. So if you keep playing it like on the album, it'll start going into "We Will Rock You."
See, that's the way that I was aware of it, and I never remembered it that way of saying "of the world" at the end, because that was one of our songs when we won in football. We won the championship, and they played that song for us, and I don't remember that being part of it.
Gotcha.
But there are hundreds of thousands of people that clearly remember that part.
yeah, we'll get to at the very end. We'll get to the reasons for the Mandela drink. If the Mandela isn't real, we'll get to the reasons behind everything. So, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna do a speed run. Okay.
Okay.
I want you to be truthful. So this is the reason why I want you guys to. I mean, obviously you can listen to it on Spotify. I'll try to explain the photos, but watching it on YouTube will really, really make a difference.
Brandon's just trying to plug our YouTube.
Maybe. Anyways, so I want you guys to be truthful. Tell me what you thought it was. Okay.
This logo?
Yes, this logo.
So the first logo, we're gonna do a speed run. If you get 10 out of 20 correct, you do not have to drink. Anything
Okay.
less, you do.
Can I
All right,
drink
that's fine.
anyway?
Yes, you can
Well,
drink it.
that's
Fucking
kind of my goal.
alcoholic. All right, so logo number 1 is Fruit of the Loom. You got the fruits.
And
One side is fruits with cornucopia. The other one is fruits.
So I have never seen the cornucopia before until the Mandela Effect started, and they're trying to say that was a thing. I've always remembered this logo, number 2.
So when the whole Mandela Effect started coming out, it was the same thing. Like they showed the cornucopia. So I actually was tricked into thinking I always saw it that way. But then the more I look at these two separately, I know, yeah, it's definitely Fruit of the Loom without the cornucopia.
And that is correct.
because I remember the commercials with the people in the fruit
Yes,
costumes.
'cause they would
There was
dance in their
never
little,
a
like-
cornucopia costume.
Yeah,
That's the only thing that I remember as
that
a
is
kid.
true. There was no cornucopia costume.
But thousands of people saying there was a cornucopia
I think
at some
it's-
point in time.
No. I think it's because people think of it, looking at it like Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Like the image of Thanksgiving.
Right.
So
All right. Number 2.
this one pisses me off because I really
Number
don't
2.
know.
All right. So we got the Monopoly man. He's carrying a bag of cash. The first photo is him without
A monocle.
a monocle. Second photo is with a monocle. Did he have a monocle or did he not?
So way back in the day, my dad had this little handheld Monopoly game. And on it, the Monopoly guy never had a monocle, and I'd never seen one in all the Monopoly games that I played. So I was always under the impression that he did not.
Okay.
I always thought he did, but I'm going to say he did not, or he did, but I know he did not because I know this.
Yeah, we're trying to tell the truth here.
Yeah.
What you think actually had. So it is going to be the first one. He did not have
Yeah.
a monocle ever. And honestly, I personally believe he did.
Yeah.
I mean,
When
I've seen it before. I swear.
I swear I've seen it before too, but I mean.
So that's one of those things, like with it on him and visually seeing it right now,
It makes
looks
sense.
natural, and it kind of looks like there's
Yeah.
something missing from the one that I believe is the original.
Right. And like it's like a power statement. Like
Exactly.
those people with wealth had those monocles.
Exactly.
Especially the
never-
way he's dressed too. Like
Yeah. I mean, I never liked Monopoly, but you know what? He kind of looks like, with the monocle, he kind of looks like he would be like a president or something.
okay.
Whereas over there, without the monocle, he just looks like he's robbing the bank in the 30s. So,
All right. Number 2. Oscar Mayer Wiener. All right. So it's Oscar Mayer Wiener. One is spelled Meyer. The other one is spelled Mayer. Which is the actual correct
So
spelling?
I remember a song.
I know that's what I'm trying to sing, but he keeps talking over here.
Well, yeah,
I'm trying
exactly.
to-
Calm down.
For the
Let
people
us,
that
let us
aren't
play the
watching
game.
this,
My baloney has a first name, it's
O-S-C-A-R.
OSCAR.
My baloney has a second name, it's M-E-Y. No, it's the first one.
No, it's the second one.
Nah, first one.
M-E-Y-E-R?
Oh, yeah.
M-E-A-Y.
That's what I remember.
M-A-Y. M-E-Y. I
Yeah.
can't even figure it out
See?
now.
all right.
Oscar Mayer has a way with B-O-L-O-G-N-A. Where's baloney? I got that one.
Thank God.
Where?
All right. So you guys got to keep track.
M-E-Y-E-R? Yeah, it's
of your points.
M-E-Y-E-R. It's M-E-Y-E-R.
So you guys are
It's
going with
The first one.
Meyer.
E-R.
Yes.
You guys are incorrect. It was never Meyer.
Damn
it was
it, you
always
convinced me.
Mayer.
You
The
yelled at
song.
me.
The song.
Oscar-
I know the song.
My
That
baloney
is
has a
what it
first
was.
name. It's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney has a second name. It's M-A-Y-E-R. It's always M-E. That's how I sang it the first time.
You
but
can-
you yelled at me.
That's a strike.
Look,
That's a
no.
strike.
If she wanted it B, she could have B. That's
Yeah.
really fine.
She chose it.
I
didn't
originally
mean to
chose it,
convince
but
her.
No,
you did
no.
convince me
But-
because
No,
my
she did.
That is what I
dyslexic brain was like, well, maybe Jean's right because I spell horribly.
That's true.
Yeah.
You want me to spell anything, really?
All right, we're going to the
No,
next one.
I hate this one.
All right, it's the Bernstein Bears.
I
You
never
all know the
heard of
logo,
these things.
the book, the movie, or the TV series.
You didn't know anything about the Berenstain Bears?
No, I never had one of their books or
Holy
anything.
crap.
So I don't know anything about this. So if I had to guess, it would be the second one.
All right,
That's-
so the first one is spelled Bernstein. Bernstein. The second one is spelled Bernstein. That's the first and the
So,
second photo.
This was my favorite book series at my dad's house because he bought like all the books for me. And looking at this, I can't remember, but I always called them the Berenstain Bears. So I never called them the Berenstain Bears, but so I'm going with the first one, but I don't know.
The reason I selected the second one is because just based off of me not knowing anything about them, that spelling looks correct in my eyes from looking at it.
Bernstein.
Look, I
second
grew up
one?
with a bunch of Polish people. The first one looks right to me.
Okay. All right, Gene, you're going with the second one?
Yes.
Shelly, you going with the first one?
Yeah.
The second one is actually correct. It was never the first one. It is spelled Bernstein. Berenstain
So
Bears.
correct me if I'm wrong. In English, if you have two vowels next to each other, the second vowel is the loud one. Correct? The first one's muffled, right?
Once
Dude,
again,
Or am I
I
wrong?
suffer from dyslexia.
Okay.
I can't even.
You had an English major.
literature major. It wasn't a fucking
That,
like
that
writing.
means she knows how to read. That don't mean she knows how to talk. Okay.
I know how. I know how to interpret literature. I don't know how to interpret words like in front of me, the spelling. Like,
That's why I thought that either way it's pronounced the same way.
Okay. All right. Yep. Gene, you're correct. Shelly, you're wrong. Once again, keep your tallies.
I don't.
It'd be nice if we had a piece of paper.
All
Thank
right.
God I play Pokemon
I have
Go.
a story about this one.
I do too.
Anyways,
But
so
I
one,
learned a
number
lot from this
6,
one.
is Pikachu. Did Pikachu in the first photo have a black tip to his tail, or in the second photo did he never have a black tip to his tail?
Ash's Pikachu never had a black tip.
You think so?
100%.
Okay.
I play Pokemon Go every day. It's without the tip.
So no tip,
No tip.
No tip.
no black tip.
No tip.
No tip.
Okay.
No tip in here.
All right. I'm assuming everybody at home chose quick, but we're gonna go ahead and reveal this answer. So it is the second one with the no black tip.
So, back when I was a kid and I used to watch this TV show,
Yeah.
there used to be, in my mind, from what I remember, there was another trainer who had another Pikachu who was friends with Ash.
Who had
His Pikachu did have a black tail or something different about him, as well as a little hairstyle, like it had a couple of hairs on his forehead.
Oh.
I remember that. So I wonder if that's where that theory originated from.
So
Could
my
Could be.
friend Tony, who's obsessed with Pokemon, he said that the generic costumes that you would buy from like if Walmart did a generic version so that they could make money, always added the black tip so that they would be different from Pokemon.
Gotcha.
So their fake Pikachu costumes would throw the black tip on there. So
Okay.
that's why people would confuse it.
Okay.
Okay.
I can understand that.
All right.
Yeah.
Number 7.
Oh.
Looney Tunes or Looney Tunes. So the first one is spelled Looney is the same, Toons, versus the second photo, Looney Tunes, Tunes. Which one is the correct spelling? Double O or Unes?
I think it's the double O because that's kind of what I remember as a kid, but that doesn't mean anything because I have also ADHD, so I never made it through the entire beginning of anything.
So I didn't get a lot of this as a child either.
Yeah.
So I would assume that I would pick the first one because based off of the way that it looks more natural in that
Okay.
way.
Okay. So you both going with the first
Yes.
Yeah.
one? Okay. It was never the first one.
All right.
Oh.
It was
Okay.
always the second one. It's spelled Tunes. And to me, that I watched it as a kid, bro.
Yeah, same.
I remember it, the first one.
I can't say 100% remember it as the first one. It just makes more sense.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that was right.
Because
You
the
know what I
argument
mean?
could be said, I mean, when was the last time this show aired? 20 years ago?
1920? I don't know.
When,
Not that long.
You know, like...
It's in the 80s.
Yeah.
It was on Nickelodeon at like 6 o'clock or something
See,
like that.
the only
So that's the
times
last time I
ever seen
remember.
it was when I was a kid in the early 2000s. If even it was the 2000s, it might have been before that. On Sundays, they would have them on for like an hour from like 7 to 8 or something like
Yeah.
that on the weekends.
Yeah.
All right. Number 8.
Oh my God.
Number 8.
This one makes me mad because I know what I've always said, which is the first one, but I know what the real one is. So number 8 for the people who do not want to
Number-
do YouTube.
I think it's number 7.
Okay. It says the first one is Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, who is the fairest of them all. The second one is Magic Mirror on the Wall, who is the fairest of them all.
Which one is correct?
So I say the second one because...
Really?
Yes. Only because I have seen Shrek, and in that movie, this quote is referenced when
Lord Farquaad.
Lord Farquaad
He
is...
actually says mirror, mirror on the wall, right?
No, he says magic mirror.
Does he?
Yes.
I remember a mirror, mirror on the wall.
No, he says magic mirror. That's how
Okay.
that's the only reason I know that saying.
So you're going
So-
with B.
Yes.
You're going with the second one.
If I had to be honest, I've always remembered it as Mirror Mirror on the Wall, who's the fairest of them all. So when I was a kid, they did a remake of this movie, Snow White, and it was like a huge deal. I have no idea when it came out, sometime in the 80s, but my mom took me and I was little and the fucking movie scared me and I literally would not stop screaming at the top of my lungs
Jesus.
in the theater. My mom had to carry me out of the theater.
My God.
The Wicked Witch scared the shit out of me.
I'm sorry.
I know.
All right.
Worse.
So
Number 8.
you didn't
What
give
was the
us
answer to that?
It's the second one. Magic mirror on the
All
wall.
right.
All
Oh,
right.
boy.
Number 8.
Oh, that one's
boy.
easy.
So, Mickey Mouse. In the first photo, he's got suspenders but doesn't have the strap. Second one, he's got suspenders but does have the strap. Which one is correct?
What are you
I watch
talking about?
Mickey Mouse every day with my children. He's never had
Never
straps.
had straps. Not once.
Damn. Okay. All right. It is actually the first photo.
I was gonna say,
He's
if
never had
you
straps.
told me he had straps, I would.
I've never seen
punched
that.
you.
I've never even seen that picture before in my life.
Yeah, that looks silly.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and go to number 9. Fruit Loops.
Oh
is
my
it Fruit or is it Froot?
I
Fruit
literally
Loops. Which one is it?
Stared at this box the other day because I was like, "Isn't there a Mandela effect with this?" And I couldn't. I literally.
Seriously?
As I'm staring at this right now, I'm still going, oh, but I think I know which one it is just because the one
All right,
looks
we're gonna start with Gene.
bad.
So, I never had Fruit Loops.
Shocker, bro! Shocker! Holy crap!
So, walking through the grocery store and seeing the boxes, I don't look a lot. I would pick the first one, honestly,
Yeah.
because the word's spelled right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I would pick the first one too. But I'm like, Gene, I'm not sure if I would look at it completely. And yeah, I'm not sure.
I can't tell you the last time I was in the
I'm
store.
So
telling
you both
this, you know
going with the
what's-
first one.
And I'm telling you, I literally stared at these boxes the other day, and I still, right now, can't tell you what it is. I'm going with the first one, though.
Okay, both going with the first one. So it's actually the second one. First one never existed. Shelly, you're wrong again.
That doesn't surprise me one
No, I
bit.
know.
You get a kick out of saying that, don't you?
Oh, I know. All right, number 10.
Oh,
Jiffy
I know
or
this
Jif?
one. It's Jif.
It's the second. It doesn't matter.
Jif.
It's the
Okay.
second. I've
So-
never in my
I knew
life.
you guys were gonna get that
Actually,
right away.
my mom used to call it Jiffy.
Nope.
It's because there's a Jiffy brand, like cornmeal and muffin, and my mom
Okay.
just correlated
there
it
is.
all the way through.
But
So
I've never heard that word ever in my life. There's one. The first time I heard it was about 3 years ago. I'll explain that later.
okay,
But
you'll
I'm
do that in
scared.
a
I vote for
Jiffy.
the second one for sure.
It's
Jif.
Jif.
It
yeah.
isn't. It is the second one. Is Jif.
Why is the Monopoly Man advertising it with the monocle? By the way,
Why is Tom Cruise dancing in his underwear above the oar?
that's my favorite.
I don't
part.
know. Anyways, we're going to number 11. All right.
What the fuck is that?
They do to Britney.
So this is in fact Britney Spears. God.
Sort of. Someone photoshopped the horrible skirt on her. But go on. Let's do this.
So Britney Spears.
Okay.
Okay. So the first photo, she's got the plaid
Pleated skirt. Go on.
Yeah. Second photo is the black skirt. So back in the music video, what is it? Hit Me Baby One More Time.
Yeah.
It's like her famous performance for a music video.
Okay.
Which one do you remember? Was she wearing the plaid skirt or the black skirt?
Never seen it before. But just judging off the photos and the way that it looks like her hands don't belong there,
Right.
I would say the second one for sure.
It's 100% the second one because the first one, her hair wasn't done like that in the video because it was in pigtails and braids.
Well, yeah, I picked separate
And-
photos for both to keep it even.
What?
What?
So that's actually Britney Spears.
We know both of them are Britney Spears. But
So
that hair is from a different video.
Well,
Sorry, I like
obviously.
Britney, okay?
Yes, I
So-
didn't pick it from that video, either one. They're both from different videos. I picked them separately.
How does this work as a Mandela effect then? If the video is
This
based
is
off
all
of the
from
video of
Britney.
one certain song,
Or hit me, baby, one more time.
now I feel like you're just trying to trick us.
Maybe.
Okay.
Which
What
one
are
is
you
it?
talking about?
First
You're
one or
confusing.
second one? First one or second one?
The second one,
All right.
for sure. The first one looks like her hand is. She don't even have a thumb on that hand. Look at it. All
Not
right.
only that, it's like you impose the wrong head with the wrong outfit. Like that's like an older video with that. No, it's
Well,
like-
obviously.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it is actually the second one.
I like how
And
you're
the
trying to
black
argue with
skirt.
us. Like
No, I'm,
we were stupid.
oh, that's not the right photo from the video. Obviously, it's not the photo from the video. If you've seen the video.
I've
So
never
anyways,
seen the video.
There has actually been like Barbie dolls made for like Britney Spears that actually came out with the plaid skirts. That's what makes it a little bit weird.
Got
Okay.
it.
I personally have always remembered it being plaid.
I don't know. I
A
don't.
lot of people have.
Maybe it's
It's
because
one of the most popular Mandela effects.
Got it.
It could be right along with what Shelley said earlier about the Pikachu thing, about how companies just kind of off-branded it to give it a different look. It might be like a copyright type
and people
of
might
issue
just
or
be
something, or-
they might be combining the movie Clueless with this video because Clueless, the plaid
I don't-
skirts were
I
huge.
don't know
Yeah.
anything about that.
Maybe. All right. Number 12. Shaggy
With
from
no
the
arm?
movie Scooby-Doo.
Like what we're
Oh, no, the neck.
Adam's apple.
Adam's Apple.
Got
So in
it.
the old fucking Scooby-Doo TV series, Gene, you probably have never watched them.
Look, you smartass. I've seen these.
This is
So the first photo shows Shaggy with the Adam's apple. Second photo, Shaggy, no Adam's apple. Which one is it?
I remember him back in Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? With an Adam's apple.
I was gonna say whenever he got scared, didn't it do like freaking
usually
weird shit?
moved and,
Yeah.
trembled. Yeah.
Yeah. So I will go with the first one also. It looks really weird in this picture.
It
though.
does.
Maybe. So it is actually the second photo. He has never had an Adam's apple ever.
So which show am I thinking of that
None.
they would? There is not a none. There's
he
somebody.
has never had an
I'm
Adam's
not
apple.
talking about him.
Just
There's obviously a cartoon character out there whose
That's what
Adam's
I'm
apple went up and down when they were
Maybe.
scared. But you can't be like, not a single one in the entire world
No,
was ever
never.
drawn.
Not a single Scooby-Doo movie or
Okay.
TV show has had Shaggy with a Adam's apple.
Somebody somewhere had a bobbing Adam's apple.
Somehow.
Yeah.
All right, number 13. The Flintstones. Is it spelled
Flintstones. Meet the
F-L-I-N-S-T-O-N-E-S, or is it spelled F-L-I-N-T-S-T-O-N-S? T-O-N-E-S. Is it the first one and the second
Shut
one?
up. Ring it. Sing it. Flintstones.
Meet
Meet
the
the
Flintstones. Have a happy number do done.
I feel like there's no T.
There's
No
always a
T. There's
Wait a minute here.
No,
I
there's too many
remember
T's in the
Two
second one.
T's. Two T's.
I feel like there's too many
Two
T's.
Ds.
Two T's.
Two
I
Ds.
remember two T's because it's Flint Stone.
I think it's Flintstones without the T. Because that second one almost looks like it's saying tit in the middle.
almost. All right, so Gene, you're going with the first one? Or the second one.
I'm going with the first one.
You're going with the first one. So it is actually the second one.
Oh,
with the
so it
two
does say
Ts.
tit in the
It does
middle.
say
always remember it saying Flint Stones.
Yep.
Once again, the world of dyslexia just kind of destroys
Or
it for everybody.
Mandela. All right, number 14.
I don't feel like this is a Mandela effect.
Number 14.
Mandela, what
Curious George.
Why would they put a squirrel
A, B,
tail
C.
on him?
That's a fucking
So-
Pokemon.
So the first, so the first Curious George does not have a tail. The second one does, and it's very furry, and nobody believes that one. The third one does have a tail. Which one did Curious George?
I have watched enough
I-
Forrest Gump to know that Curious George does not have a tail.
I know he doesn't have a tail either. I remember that from the books because I liked the Man with the Yellow Hat books.
Okay,
He had a man with the yellow hat.
you guys
Your
would
big
be
old-
correct.
Big old hat.
Curious George has never had a tail. Kit Kat.
I hate this one too.
Is it Kit Dash Cat or is it just Kit Kat?
No, there's no dash.
I haven't had one in forever.
Is it number one or number two?
It's
If-
Logan's favorite candy bar, so I think it's without.
If I had to
that dash.
pick, I think it would look. It looks better without the dash. It looks more natural without the dash.
Which one is it though?
I would pick the second one because I haven't had one in a year.
Okay. Shelly?
I already said that. I like
Second
the
one?
second one better. Yeah.
Okay. So it is actually the second one. It's without the dash. Number 16. Coca-Cola.
Why are there 4 of them?
So
Todd's favorite drink, and I'm literally looking at this, and they all look the same.
we're going to go
me.
from top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. So top left, Coca-Cola. There's no dash or
Oh, I see
anything.
what you're saying. Okay.
Top right, there is a dash. Bottom left, there's a squiggly dash. Don't know what that's actually called. And bottom right, there is a asterisk or apostrophe.
That is not a
So
no. The bottom right
That
looks
bottom
like
right
a
looks like it doesn't belong in this category.
Yeah,
it should be
that
down
looks
to
like
the
a-
3.
that looks like a period that they threw in the middle.
I personally remember just the dash, the straight dash, nothing else. That's it. That's what I remember. I haven't had Coca-Cola in 4 months.
Can
Okay.
I phone a friend? I need to
Nope.
call Todd and ask him to send me a
Nope.
picture of his Coke cans.
Nope. So is it? We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. So top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one is it?
I have no idea. I'm
you
gonna
think
go
it's
with.
2?
2.
He
I'm
thinks
going
it's 2.
with. Now you know what? I'm going to be a rebel. I know he likes the straight dash. I'll go the squiggly dash just because I feel
So you're
like
gonna go
being a
number
scribble.
3.
So I
Just to
thought
be a
of that
crazy-
for like the older version. Like I thought I remembered that, but I swear I've seen the
I
second.
think that part of me feels like there is no dash.
We're both going to be wrong. It's going to be number 1.
Can I blow your guys' fucking mind?
If it's the
If
4th
it's
one,
the
I'm
fucking
leaving.
period that
If it's number
has
4,
no
I'm going
purpose,
home.
I'm
Right
going
now,
home
I will put my
too.
Hey,
headphones down
guys.
and leave.
Hey guys, it's number 4.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's always been
I'm
number
out.
4. It's never been anything else.
There is no. No.
I
That
will grab.
looks like
I got a
an
Coca-Cola over there. Hold on.
Go get it.
It looks like an afterthought.
That's ridiculous.
Boom.
I quit. I'm done.
It's never been.
does.
It's never been a dash. It's never been not a dash.
I have.
It has
never-
always been.
Are you sure they didn't just shorten it for the time or what?
Nope.
Like,
Yeah.
It has
there's no
always
way.
been.
Ask Todd. You know what? Now you can phone a friend.
Now I can call my
I make
husband.
executive
Todd, I
action.
need you to look at all your Coca-Cola cans
No,
right
don't
this
tell him to
second.
look. Ask him.
Ask him.
I should. I'll have to.
Oh,
you'll
we'll
have to
do it
send me
after.
that. Yeah.
So, all right. It's actually number 4. You guys are wrong, and you're
I
pissed
call
off.
shenanigans.
Number
Shenanigans.
17. Febreze. So, is it Febreze or is it Febreeze?
Doubly.
Double E? You're going double E?
Doubly.
Doubly.
Double E.
Doubly. You know, I have Febreze sitting on my bookshelf right now. I don't even know. You know what? You said double E. I'm gonna be a rebel and say 1E.
Oh, wow. Shocker. So, it's actually the first photo. It's 1E.
Finally.
Never been double E.
I just
I
kicked your
remember
ass,
double Es.
Gene.
Well, there's first time for everything.
Number 18. Oreo, but this time is double stuff. So the first photo is stuff is the word in question. So it's STUFF, or the second photo it's STUF.
It's the second one.
You think so?
I'll explain why in a minute.
Okay.
If I believe we had this issue when we were all working together, and I literally went to the sales floor. And to this day, I don't remember, but I feel like it is only 1 F. But I always
Okay.
thought it was 2 Fs. Until
You had something ingenious you were gonna say.
So the reason why it's only 1 F is because the company doesn't actually use double the amount. They only use 1.5 of the amount of Oreo stuffing.
So
But it also says it on Mega Stuff.
I don't have an answer for that one, but I know
Mega
that
Stuff.
I've
and
read
any
something
stuff.
on
It's only 1F.
that. I've only read 1 F.
Okay. Are you still sticking with 2? The
no,
second
if
one?
I said 1. I said we had this debate in the
No,
office.
I meant like sorry, photo number 2.
Yes.
Oh
one
yeah,
or two.
yeah,
So you guys are going with number 2. That is correct.
yeah.
But it is also on like Mega Stuff.
See, I don't know
Other
the
stuff,
explanation
I
of
don't-
that, but
I
I
don't
do know that I read something that they sent out about there's only 1 F on the double stuff because there's only 1.5 the amount.
Gotcha. Okay, number 19. How many states are there in the U.S.? Is it
Is this a
50,
joke?
51, or 52?
50.
How many states?
Yeah.
Like official, legitimate states.
How many
How is
states
this a
are in the
Mandela
US?
effect?
50.
Okay. It is actually
50.
I was getting ready to jump across this fucking table.
Me and myself, I honestly, I would have said 50. But me and myself, I do remember in high school, for some reason, about 51.
So the
number
there are
51
countries- there are
comes to
countries
mind
that are
so many
protected,
times.
Like,
Yes.
like the Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico's
that
a
are
big one.
considered part of the United States, but
But
they're
it's just
not
a territory.
states. Yes, they
Right.
So I think that's why the 51
I think at some point, probably when
is
you
a
were in grade
Mandela
school.
effect.
Well,
It's cool.
No,
probably
for
when
real,
you
like,
were in grade school.
Maybe
I
like
think
early junior high.
Yeah, I think they were talking about turning Puerto Rico into
I
a
do
state.
remember 51.
They did discuss turning Puerto Rico into the 51st state, but they never went through with it. Why, I don't know.
Oh, because they couldn't figure out where to put the star.
All right. Number 20. Captain Crunch. Is it Cap'n Crunch or Captain Crunch?
I remember
First
there's
one or the
always
second
being
one?
Cap'n Crunch.
I thought it was
Okay.
Cap'n
Yes,
Crunch
Cap'n.
too.
Cap'n?
Yes, Cap'n.
Cap'n Crunch. Cap'n or Crunch?
USA
Alrighty, Cap'n.
product for import or export only. I like that.
I always thought it was
I
that
know, right?
because of the way that in movies and things I've heard sailors say Cap'n. All right, Cap'n.
You know what's funny? Is he's actually a general and not a
I
captain.
know.
You know
I
that's
just work
fucked?
here.
That's fucked. Anyways, it is actually the first one.
yeah,
Cap'n Crunch. It was never Captain
because
Crunch.
the Captain Crunch looks really bizarre.
All right. That was all 20.
That was 20. I didn't even keep count. First of all,
I would say
Did
you guys
just say that
probably
was
should
number
chug.
like 14 and then you're
No,
like,
I-
oh, this is 20?
I definitely
Wait a
said
minute.
19 and 20.
I don't know.
Anyways, if you guys got 10 out of 20 correct at home, congratulations. If you didn't, take a drink like these two losers.
Gene
Chug,
totally beat
chug,
me. I don't even
chug,
know.
chug.
I'm not chugging this.
Anyways,
It's
we're-
water.
We're going to get into this a little bit. So now, if the so-called Mandela Effect, which that's a drink, by the way, Shelley, if it isn't real, what could it mean then? Why is it happening?
I know some of these theories. Go on.
More than likely, it involves false memories. For example, Alexander Hamilton. Most people learn that he was a founding father of the U.S., but a lot of people believe he was a president. But why? Let's look at the neuroscience explanation.
Because
So-
they weren't taught.
I don't
Better?
remember this.
So the memory of Alexander Hamilton is encoded in the brain where the memories for the presidents of the United States are stored. Supposedly. Yeah, obviously it's not. Oh,
Right.
that's exactly where it's at. No.
Is this your brain we're talking about? 'Cause
No,
if
there
that's
ain't nothing up there.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's where the presidents of the United States are stored. So when people try to recall Hamilton, this sets off the neurons in close connection
Got
to
it.
each other, and bringing with it is the memory of the presidents. So that's why
Okay.
people a lot of times confuse it.
Obviously, my brain said anything with a logo, just toss it out the fucking window
I
because it's
guess.
pointless.
So another theory is confabulation. I love that word.
Bless you.
So this involves your brain to fill in the gaps that are missing in your memories,
Okay.
so that you understand them better. It's sort of a way for your brain to like white lie to you.
So does this happen to you daily?
Yes, all the
Okay.
time. So your brain is remembering details that never happened, and the older you get, the more confabulation happens.
Well, yes,
Oh.
because that the older you get, the more you don't see things,
Right.
and the way that you see different things repetitiously depends and allows you to understand like later on. Like reading your favorite book. I bet you can quote lines from your favorite book like no other. But if I seen your favorite book and I read it once in grade school, I'd probably mess up a line or two.
Got it. Okay. I see
Yeah.
what you're saying.
So the third theory is misleading information. So information that you learn after an event can change your memory of the event,
Mhm.
like some of the logos that I showed you. Seeing two different logos, now your brain's trying to figure out which one it is. I'm leading you more towards
Yes.
the false
like he
one.
did with Oscar Mayer.
Definitely. Yes, exactly.
So, so this includes all the little details in the events, and this is why eyewitness testimonies cannot be reliable.
Well,
There's
yeah.
so many reasons why eyewitness
Well, yeah.
testimonies can't be reliable.
So the last
So many.
the last theory is the internet's influence. So
Yeah.
the internet is a powerful way to spread information, and of course, it's also potential for misconceptions to gain traction. A lot of people want attention out there. They'll do anything. They'll lie.
Look, I'm going to stop you right there because everybody
Nothing on the
listening to
internet
this
is
and
real.
everybody understands that everything on the internet is true. Okay?
I could be lying about this entire episode and just bullshitting
That's
the entire
probably- you
episode, and I
probably
will
are.
convince a lot of people.
To cover
that
up
this
your
is-
little Matrix world.
Exactly.
Look, I'm not going to say that there have not been people that have created things and tried to misrepresent them as other things,
Right.
because that is
No.
a very accurate thing, whether we're talking about Mandela Effect or other things in
Oh
reality.
yeah. Anything.
It happens. But there are things that people vividly remember before even looking on the internet that are real,
Yeah.
that they say are real, that are not.
Yes.
Yeah. And
like
I mean,
me with New Zealand, that kind of blew my
Yeah.
mind. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. But like people would create these communities around these misconceptions, and literally once the imagination starts, like everything seems to be factual then. Because you got Jimmy over here being like, oh no, yeah, for sure, I saw this. And then you got Tommy being like, you know what? I saw that too. And like just a bunch
Yes.
of different things.
Got it.
So what do you guys think? Like, do you believe in the Mandela effect?
So
Or do you believe in what I just said?
I
very-
completely. I'll be honest. I feel that there's a mix of the two.
I'm
because
with
there's-
Gene on this one.
there's-
Yeah.
You do
There's
think there's a
things-
parallel universe?
I 100% think
Well,
there's parallel
there's no
universe.
doubt in that. There
Yeah.
But I
has
mean,
to be.
obviously, there's different universes
There
that are
has to be
exactly the
something.
same, or like slightly off.
But the thing is, yes, influence from the internet has changed my ideology and things like that on certain things, and that could have swayed my influence on certain things that we voted on, as well as I know that some things were right and some things were wrong. For example, that Coke thing, I was dead set. Coke didn't have a period in the middle of it,
but it did.
but it does.
It's
Yeah.
never-
And I
it's
was
always
very
had that.
wrong about that. That is not what I remember.
Yeah.
There, so
And it might be your brain just trying to fill in the gaps. You're like, shit, looking at these 4 photos, now I don't remember. And then your brain's like, oh, well, let's
See,
throw in a dash,
that-
a squiggly dash in there.
see,
for
that
me.
could be true, but the other thing is, I know that I was dead set. I knew there wasn't nothing, because that was one of the options.
Yeah.
And I was dead set. I knew there wasn't a period. I had a thought that back in, like the 60s, 50s, things like that, the Coca-Cola emblem had the squiggle because it went along with the style
Yeah.
of handwriting.
Yeah.
But I was set on the actual straight dash, just the separator.
Well,
And that looked
you were-
100% correct.
you were close.
It does.
It's just a little bit teenier.
But then,
And up
then the
high.
other argument could have been said, instead of being the Mandela Effect, you're right. That second logo could have confused me, and it could have looked more accurate, and
Yeah.
it could have looked more professional, things like that, compared to the actual logo, and my mind could have selected, oh, that is your answer.
Yeah.
It could go either way.
Yeah. And I mean, it could also be like the logos and whatnot. Like, for instance, we have a local grocery store called Aldi.
Yeah.
We always call it Aldi's.
I never
Yeah.
have because it never had an S.
Everybody I know calls it Aldi's.
Yeah.
Nope.
So
And so for me to drive by and see that it says Aldi, I'm like, Mandela Effect. But it's just what we all called it.
Yep.
yeah, it has to
And
do
that's-
with growing up in the Midwest. We like to throw S's on random shit
Yeah.
for no reason.
And I mean it's kind of stuff like
It's
that.
true.
I don't know what to believe. I want to believe the Mandela Effect because that'd be kind of cool. But then again, that also explains like simulations and shit like that are also real. Like
I mean,
I don't
if that
think
can happen,
I don't think simulations
anything
are
can
real.
happen.
there's simulations in the way that we're experiencing it technically or theoretically could not
I just
be,
know-
I don't think could be real. But
You
simulations
can play
in
video
general could be
games inside of
completely
video games nowadays.
Hmm.
You can literally play video. I can go on GTA right now and look up my Facebook in game on their phone, and it'll pull up my Facebook and shit.
That's
but
up.
that has a bit to do with internet connection capabilities and things like that.
Right,
There's
but I'm
arguments
saying,
to be
like,
said in those types of
I'm
situations.
saying,
Wait a minute.
like, it's possible.
Riddle me this, mister.
Yes, Ridley?
If we're in a simulation, explain to me why when I put on AR shit, I get motion sickness.
So that could be built into the situation. I mean, there's also other theories.
Why do I
that
climb
say-
up a wall, scared of heights, and feel height sickness? Feel like I'm about to fall. Like it's the same.
There's arguments
senses.
to be said.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing: how do you know for sure if you're? So, you can think back and remember what you ate yesterday for lunch. What did you eat yesterday for lunch or breakfast? Whatever you remember. What meal?
Don't ask me.
Not you. I know you don't remember. You don't remember what color your hair is.
Which meal? Because I
Pick one. Anything.
I had cinnamon toast for breakfast.
Okay. So theoretically, how do you know that wasn't programmed into you when you woke up this morning in your first day of artificial reality? How do you know this isn't your first day of artificial reality?
Well, first of all, I want to
that's
talk
the
to my
argument.
programmer and tell them to stop making me so clumsy.
They say that if we are in a simulated reality,
yeah.
we would never know.
Exactly.
We would never know.
Because
If we already are, we would never know.
Well, here's the other argument with the artificial reality is when like building the pyramids and things like that, the argument can be said that they had different technologies that we don't have now, that we don't have possession of or harness. Some people say it was aliens. Some people say that it was just stuff lost during the ages, things like that. How do they know that technology didn't get created so far in advance back then that they all put it on and they started wearing it, and this reality came to be because it's artificial?
Yeah,
So in
we're
other
getting, we're
words,
getting a lot
we're
deep
just-
in here.
We ain't got enough time.
We're
today.
getting past the Mandela.
We're just a bunch of
We need to say
simmers
that.
playing Sims while other people sim us.
Yeah.
Potentially, the argument can be sailed. That's why everybody could remember things differently. Like if your high school best friend remembered that Kit Kat had a dash and it doesn't have a dash, but you remember it not having one, that could be said. Maybe one of you guys had more Kit Kats than the other, or it could be that it could be a fake reality, or
True.
it could just be anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, we got really deep there. We're gonna have to save that for another episode. Obviously, we got a whole board to do right now on different theories and
Is that the board?
That's
yeah.
the
There's
board
like 20,
of like
30.
future episodes. And then I have a whole list on my laptop too of future episodes.
I got a list on my phone too. Anyways, so thank you, Gene, for joining us in this episode. We'll see you in the future.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, yeah.
But
yeah, if you haven't already, check out our Facebook at A Beer Grab a Tale, where we post episodes and newest updates.
and check out our Instagram at A Beer Crime a Tale, where I will attempt to post, and then Brandon tells me I didn't do a good enough job, and he then takes the post and changes it.
Anyways, if you want to show us support, check out our Patreon at BCT Podcast. It'll help us get to places we've never been before, literally, and give you guys the best episodes. And then you can vote on what episode you want. Like in the future, maybe we'll do another conspiracy, which we will. But you can choose what episode you want to hear.
And don't forget to send us an email if you really want to. And download, subscribe, and rate, because that helps us too.
All right. If you enjoyed this episode, we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. You gotta say goodbye.
Peace out.
Goodbye.